Hey Cam, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. It's good to see you. Thank you for
Yeah,
taking the time to do this, man. Appreciate it.
no worries, dude.
But, how
How are
is?
you?
I'm good, thank you. How has this year been for you guys? Because this lifestyle is a whole lot different now to the last time I spoke to you guys here in the UK. So, how you been?
Yeah. Um, a bit more rested. Uh, we kind of came out of warp speed here in March. We had been on a kind of a crazy run for about 3 years straight, and this year was lined up to be pretty big for us. And of course, the wheels came off the wagon for all of us. So, you just kind of have to press pause and look around, and the dust settled. And we spent our time and have been spending our time writing a lot for the next album. And we're really excited about what we wrote the second album in transit, really, because we were so busy, and we finally had a moment, more than a moment really, to sit back and really strive to write music that we felt we were missing for the band. And so really, we made lemonade out of lemons, and we're looking to get in the studio in about a week from now, week or two from now, and record an EP.
Very cool.
You got to stay busy.
Yeah. Well, speaking of things stopping and you having to put life on pause, you've had to put the UK tour on pause like a couple of times now, and you've just
Yeah.
announced rescheduled dates, and it is the best tour name that I've ever seen.
Thank
Let's
you.
try this again. So,
Yeah.
does it sort of feel like the universe doesn't want you to come back to the UK at the moment?
No, I feel like the universe wants us desperately to come back to the UK. If we were lesser men, we would have just thrown our hands up and never come back, but we are determined. It's our best, it's our favorite. I mean, look, it's not easy, with the jet lag and getting over there, and then like just kind of hitting the ground running. And to make the most of your time, you kind of just stack the shows. But we wouldn't do it, and this is just, I'm being as genuine as I possibly could. We wouldn't do it if it wasn't so much fun for us to come over there and play for our fans in the UK and in Europe. So it's an adventure for us always, and we always get into trouble. And I've spent two of the last three birthdays, I would have been 3 for 3 in the UK. And so, I don't know where else I'd want to be rather than London. We were on my birthday 2 years ago playing our first time at the, gosh, where did we play in London?
Would it be
Uh,
Shepherd's Bush Empire?
Shepherd's Bush.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just insane. So, we're excited. You're trying to um, tighten the old purse strings. So it fell on me to create the tour art for this round. And I was just kind of staring at the blank computer screen, and as a joke, decided to call it "Let's Try This Again" tour, and it felt good. It felt right. It felt very Midland, to kind of tongue in cheek,
Absolutely.
um, be forthright about it. So look, this time hopefully nothing stops us, and we'll be out there soon.
Yeah, fingers crossed. And coming back to music, this Friday you're going to be releasing your entire performance from the legendary Palomino Club. Now, for anyone in
Yeah,
the UK who isn't aware of that place, tell us a little bit about what it meant to you guys to actually do a show there and
yeah.
kind of reinvigorate the place.
Okay. So for anybody who doesn't know what the Palomino Club is, the Palomino is um, it's a bastion, or it was a bastion, a place, one of the only places in Los Angeles that you could go see authentic country music. You know, if you're thinking about the United States in as far as areas and hot pockets of country music, Los Angeles is not commonly thought of as a place where there's a lot of country music going on. So it was a unique place from the 60s, 70s, 80s into the early 90s, I believe, to go see um, country music in Los Angeles, and it kind of became a staple for anybody who was anybody to go and play there. So, there was anybody from Elton John to Carl Perkins to Dwight Yoakam, everybody played the Palomino Club. It was a famous joint in the North Valley, and like most things, all good things must pass, and nothing good lasts forever. So it became a old person's home and supper club. And we decided to resurrect it, and we found the sign, the original Palomino Club sign, and we transformed it for the night. We moved out all the old folks and converted it to a honky tonk again for the evening, and invited all of our friends. And it was really something we decided that it felt special enough to record it. And luckily we did. We took the chance, and we set up a mobile recording studio and captured what happened that night, and it felt magical enough to release it on its own on vinyl. So if you've got a record player too, go ahead and you should check it out on vinyl. There's something nostalgic about it.
Look forward to that. And you spoke earlier on that you guys are working towards the next album. And I was reading an interview that Mark did with a friend of mine a couple of days ago, and he was saying that because he moved out to Tucson, Arizona again, and he's kind of experienced a bit of a change, and you guys have been in different places, it's sort of inspired you guys and given you a lot more creativity in this time. So is that something that you would agree with?
Yeah, I mean, everybody finds their inspiration in other places. Mark is right now reinventing his life. So oftentimes you get some of the collateral or peripheral flotsam from upheaval is being uncomfortable, and through that you can find creativity in different places. So that's probably what Mark was talking about. I am still here in Texas because I love it here, and all my family is relocated out here to the hill country outside of Austin, and Jess lives down the street. So for us, it was really about being able to sit down, at least for me, sit down and write a song and have the time to ponder it and really dig into what we wanted to do, and not just boom, 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 get a song done, go, 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 which is, not to diminish what we did on the second album, which to me is the best thing that we've ever put out of the two. Certainly more elevated than the first album from a writing standpoint. This will hopefully present itself to be an evolution of the second album.
So what kind of time frame are you putting on this album? Do you feel like you've sort of come to the end of the cycle with the previous album in terms of singles now? Are you totally focused on?
Yeah, we're off the second album, and we are into our third album, looking at 2021 for a release.
Look forward to that. And just before I let you go, Cam, I wanted to speak to you about your work with Dejour on his new album. Obviously, you've been doing some producing for him, and the new track with Nicky Lane is awesome. Absolutely love it. So tell us a little bit about working with him and how much you enjoy the production side of things.
I love producing. The more I do it, the more I'm addicted to it. I love being in the studio. Always have loved being in the studio, and it felt like for Josh, as you know, that he's come on tour with us, and he has used to be our tour manager a long time ago, and even before that was just kind of like a little brother to us growing up. Decided to take matters into our own hands, me and our friends out here in Austin, and cut the record here, and put together a kind of super group out here in Austin. It was me and my friend Johnny Tyler producing, and we had some local just legends unto themselves playing as the backing band, guys like John Michael, who plays with everybody. He played bass, I played drums. Daniel Creamer from the Texas Gentlemen played keys. Luke Cutchin from Midland, came in and put some stank on it. And of course, Nikki Lane came on and sang. She kind of just walked in as we were cutting vocals for that song and said, "Oh, I really like that. Why don't you throw your vocal on it?" And voila, that's what kind of happens when you're around creative people and just putting that kind of energy out in the world that people gravitate towards it. So I'm really proud of it from a production standpoint. I'm really proud of it from a big brother standpoint towards Josh. I feel like that he's really transitioned himself into a fully baked artist unto himself, and really has elevated his musical style. And if you haven't heard it, it's called Desure, Desure. And he's released 2 or 3 songs now from what will be his second album forthcoming. And they're all singles out. One's called Masochist. Another one is called High Low. Just came out. It's a song that I co-wrote with him and our buddy Jonathan Terrell out here, who's a fantastic songwriter. And another song featuring Nikki Lane called gosh, what's the name of that song? On Me. And that song was inspired. He wrote that when we were on tour in the UK.
Okay.
There's a line in it that says something about I threw out my back again last night, and that actually happened when we were in Glasgow. He had the hiccups, and we had a few drinks at the very least, and I had convinced him that if he let me turn him upside down and shake him, that it would get rid of his hiccups. And he's slightly bigger than me, so I lost my grip on him and I dropped him on his head and he threw his back out. Couldn't walk for the rest of the tour, but that's just life, man. You could get hurt being around Midland.
Well, Cam, thank you for taking the time to do this, man. I really appreciate your time, and hopefully we can get you back in the UK next year to tell us some more of those stories.
Yeah, man. We're going to create more stories out there in the UK.
Absolutely.
Thank you for listening. We hope to see you out there.
All right, man. Appreciate your time.
Take care.